broken-hearted Hoover fixer sucker guy.
Hey, this is broken-hearted Hoover fixer sucker guy from the movie Once. This song was actually totally improv in the movie, if you haven't watched the commentary. And it's fairly simple, I guess, but you might have to pause a lot and write down exactly what I'm doing, or record it somehow, I don't know. Or just pause it and try it a bunch, because even though it's like 45 seconds long, there's a lot of just quick jumping from chord to chord to chord to chord, and then there's really no consistency in it. There's a little bit, but when you think it's consistent, it changes a little. So it's I'm gonna have it down there at the bottom of the screen, but please feel free to pause it as much as you want. I'll try and go a little slow and explain it as clearly as I can. Starts out, it is in standard tuning. I can see my laundry basket back there. It's in standard tuning, and how he does a G, he doesn't hold down the 5th string with his middle finger. He just kind of helps out on the 6th string and mutes that 5th string. So you start out with a G, and the strumming pattern I think is like this. It's like that each measure, each measure. So you start out with the G for 3 measures, and it goes like this. And then you go to, I think this is an A minor 7. You have the middle finger down on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and the index finger down on the 2nd string on the 1st fret, while muting the 6th string. And he plucks he does this for 1 measure. He hits the 5th string and strums. And then he moves that middle finger down 1 string, and he takes his thumb and he wraps it over, holding down the 6th string but muting the 5th string. So it should sound like that. And he does this for 1 measure. And he hits the 4th string to start. And then he goes back to the G. He does the G again for 3 more measures. Then he goes to a D. For 2 measures. He does that D for 2 measures. Then he goes back to the G. Sorry if I didn't have this written down. Then he goes to a C. That G back there was for 2 measures. I don't know if I clarified that. He does a C for 1 measure, and then goes to a G again for 2 measures. And he goes to a D for 1 measure, and then back to a G. See, you're going to need to pause it or write it down or rewind or something. Goes back to the G for 2 measures. Then he does a C. It's like I'm sure it has a name, but it's a C without the index finger down. He does that for 2 measures, and then this I'll go through this and then I'll explain how to do it. All he does there is he's got his ring finger and middle finger kind of, or his index finger and middle finger kind of waiting here, and he starts out with a G. And then he puts down his middle finger on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and his index finger on the 2nd string on the 1st fret. So it's like, I mean, half your fingers are doing a C and half of them are doing a G. And he does the switch and gets off that all in 1 measure. So it's like this. And then he continues the G for another measure. So it's 2 measures here like this, or it's 2 measures that are made up like this. He goes back to the weird C without the index finger down for 2 measures. And then he does the G for 1 measure. Then I don't know what this is. He's got his thumb wrapped over, holding down the 6th string and muting the 5th on the 2nd fret. His ring fingers on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, and his middle fingers on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. And so it sounds like that. And he does that for 2 measures. And then he does a G for 2 more measures. And he goes to a C for 1 measure. Then then back to a G. That G is for 2 measures. Then he does this weird thing that we just did a couple measures ago for 2 measures, and then he ends it how we did a little earlier, like this. Alright, I'm going to go back through that slowly without saying anything, but just kind of so you can make sure you got it written down or something. That is Broken-Hearted Hoover Fixer Sucker Guy. It's a little tough to get down because it's so, just so random how it changes, and it's a short song, so once you get it down, you can play it over and over and over again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate and comment, and look for more videos very soon, or they're probably already up, depending on when you watch this. So thank you for watching.